Hello, welcome once again to People You Should Know. I'm your host, Eddie Hazzard. Every week we have different people we're going to interview from either politics, entertainment, airplane pilots, doctors, firefighters, people you should know that are going to be helping you out, and it'll be educating you. Today we got the one and only, one of the hottest DJs in the Bay Area and in Northern California, the one and only DJ ET. Not only do I know him, he's also my son. Ladies and gentlemen, the man himself, DJ ET.
Thank you. Hey, thanks for having me.
No problem, son.
I know it took a little while to get us together, but it's good to be here.
Hey,
Thank
you're
you.
busy man. You're a busy man. So, son, music's been really instrumental in all your life. You know, and it's been, you were a DJ in college at the UC Santa Cruz for a little bit, or
Radio DJ.
Radio DJ. And tell me, how did that come about?
Well, as far as being a radio DJ in college, there was always an interest in music and an interest in, making people happy with music. Honestly, in college, it's a very simple ask. You know, college radio is something they try to allow to be accessible to everyone on campus,
Good.
whether it's students or staff or recent graduates. So there are a few classes that you could take. The one I had to take was a broadcasting course. And that was basically an intro into all the necessary tools that you would need to host a radio show, but also the things that would need to happen within that radio show, like reading commercials, things of that nature, ads. And so honestly, once you take that course for a quarter, then you're teamed up with another one of your classmates, assuming they graduate, and your first show is the following quarter at 3 a.m.
Oh, man.
3 to 5 a.m. First one we had Thursday night / Friday morning. My Fridays at quarter were a little rough, but all for the love, all for the fun, right?
So when did you find out that you said, you know, I could be a DJ and I could do it well? What was it that when you were seeing DJs out there where you said, hey, I can swim with those guys?
It took a while. I'll be honest, it took a while. I mean, growing up, there were a lot of mixtapes and CDs that I would make just from songs that I liked and mixes that I wanted to hear. And I never really felt like I had the tools or the full ability to compete with any of the DJs at that time. I just thought it was going to be, a hobby or something fun, something to fall back on kind of thing. Honestly, it wasn't until probably my early 30s where a few of my friends were getting married, and they were fortunate. I was fortunate enough that they would allow me the opportunity to kind of, learn from those early weddings without a huge amount of pressure or stress, right? Where it's like, hey, look, you're about to get married. I think I want to try and do this. Hey, kid, let's strike up a deal kind of thing. And, the first couple were, a little trying to find my feet, as it were, to figure out exactly what it is that I needed to do to become, more successful. And that's certainly where it started. I think initially where I felt like I could actually take it to the next level was when I went ahead and registered for an actual, DJ course.
Smart.
Yeah.
Smart.
So, based in San Francisco, I'm pretty sure it's still around. It's the DJ for Life Academy. It was an intensive 3-week course, and I got matched up with a local DJ in the city, DJ 7, Sean 7 Evans. Hey, I see you. He's still out there doing his thing.
Right on.
And, he gave me enough confidence, honestly, to say, no, you can do this. You just need to believe that you can do it. The whole point of it is after a little while, you have to believe that you can do it and just start saying, yeah, no, I'm a DJ. Give me a chance, give me a shot.
Right.
And it just takes that ability to prove to yourself, honestly, with every event. Even now, even today, I'm still proving that, no, I'm a pro. I can do this.
You do it well.
Well,
you do it well. What advice would you give to a young guy coming up today, or a person, a lady coming up who wants to get into the business? What's the first step getting in the business?
Yeah, I mean, first step, honestly, get some gear. If you want to DJ, you want to be a and a master of ceremonies as a DJ normally is, especially for weddings and corporate events. Get yourself some gear, whether that's like Traktor's your software of choice, or Serato.
Okay,
or
what is Serato?
Serato and Traktor are two of the most popular computer programs that are specifically for DJs. So essentially, like, when you were growing up, there was records. Some people still use vinyl, it's fine, but ultimately we're much more sophisticated and technology advanced like form of medium right now. So everything's digital. Everything's MP3 or flash drives, things of that nature. So in order to utilize the music in digital form, but still be able to manipulate it, so like still with decks or CDJs, which are CDs played as vinyl, okay, you have to have either Serato or Traktor or another one of these programs on your computer to make it all work.
So I see a lot of almost all they have two turntables. Is that protocol they have two? Can you do it with one? Because I know they always switch back in. They have the laptop right there. Run that down to me.
Well, everyone's setup is different. I have a handful of friends DJ friends that will use two turntables. They may use one. They may use one with a mixer and a laptop. They might use one with a CDJ and a laptop. They might use two CDJs and no laptop. It's really just based, again, this is kind of based on what feels good, like what works best for you. And that's why I say if anyone's getting started in the business or wanting to get started, figure out the equipment or figure out the gear that you want and then go get it. It's not as if I'm saying just buy the first thing. Guitar Center's out there for a reason. They have all of those equipment and controllers and programs on display. It's out there for you to try. It's out there for you to like give it a shot. Another thing, a pretty easy one, is like find DJs that are playing what you want to play. Find DJs that are working where you want to work and just show up, listen to what they're playing, introduce yourself, see how they got started, because everybody's start is different and everybody's path is different. You don't have to feel like one path is the right way.
Right.
But it all starts with how you're going to present, how you're going to play your music, how are you going to get all this content and fun out there? Like, what are you going to use first?
So, what is one of your hardest DJ gigs you've ever had to do?
This is a tough one because I have two that I can think of, but they are for very differing reasons. The first, I'll give you, so normally I do mostly weddings and corporate events.
Right.
One wedding in particular was to take place on a boat. So the idea was, or not a cruise, okay, not a cruise necessarily, but just it was going to be a boat, little two-story boat situation going out of the Alameda
Harbor.
Alameda Harbor. And the idea is all of the guests are supposed to arrive, and before docking, they're supposed to meet the groom at the dock, and then the bride is supposed to wait at the boat, and then that way the groom doesn't see the bride, and then once the wedding starts, and it's like, oh my God, there's the bride. So I'm all set up. Everyone's at the dock waiting. Bride arrives. Bridal party arrives. Pre-ceremony music's playing. For those of you who haven't been to a wedding, when people arrive and the ceremony hasn't started yet, there has to be some music, otherwise it's awkward. Anyway, 10, 15 minutes go by. Some people are arriving, but the groom's not there yet. We're about 20 minutes out from ceremony. Groom still hasn't shown up. Coordinator walks over. She brings me, the caterer, the bartender, huddle them all up, and she's like, okay, so listen, I've just been told the groom is not going to show up.
Oh, man.
He's decided he's not going to be here, and neither of his groomsmen are going to be here as well.
Ike.
But the bride has decided, despite all of this, we're still going to go on with the party.
Oh, wow.
The food is still here. The drinks are still here. The music is still here. We're still going to do our thing. We're still going to go out on this water, and we're still going to party.
That was wild.
I can't tell you how awkward that first half hour when we departed, or what is it, disembark? Yeah, when we left the dock, and the ceremony was supposed to happen upstairs, and then downstairs is like where dinner and drinks and everything were.
Yeah.
So I'm set up upstairs because like music for that, and then it'll be dancing back upstairs later. And this nice like two old ladies came upstairs and like sat down. Boat had been going off, and one of them just like walks over to me. He's like, "Excuse me, young man, did we miss the ceremony?" And I was like, "I'm so sorry. There's not going to be a ceremony."
Oh my goodness.
"So we did miss it?" "No, it didn't happen. The groom,
Yikes.
I'm sorry to say, did not arrive."
Yikes.
And it was at that moment I saw in their face that they realized they were going to be on this boat for the next 3 hours.
No way to get off. Oh man.
I will say though, they did turn up.
Oh,
Surprisingly.
Wow.
Bride got a little too drunk. But anyway, yeah, that's probably the hardest one, just because like you're trying to make the best of a difficult situation.
Oh my goodness. What do you say to the bride, huh?
Bride was into it. That was the thing. Like she was, and then at the end of it, dude, I find out from the bride's sister, bride is gonna stick with him.
Hey, I mean, love is blind. Look,
I'm just the hired help for music. I don't
get involved.
Mm-mm.
So let me ask you a question. So you're out there, you're at an event, and your equipment shuts down. What do you do?
Well, you have backups in place. This is an easy one. So I haven't been faced with this because I always have a backup in place. Whether it's a second...
See that? Listen to what he just said.
Whether it's a second laptop, with having whatever I'm playing also running simultaneously. So like if something were to happen and drop out, I can just switch over. Also having all the gear and music like on hand, not just in the program I mentioned earlier, a la
Sure.
Tractor or Serato. It's also on my iTunes. It's also on my Spotify. It's just having different ways to make sure that there isn't silence.
So now that you've been in DJing a while, let's talk about contracts. Do you advise your people who are starting out in the business to go with a contract? Because a lot of them just verbally, and then it's just cash hand. So how do you feel about contracts?
Oh, contracts are essential. I mean, I don't know if there's many people outside of, your random gigs at like a bar or like a club kind of thing. I don't think there's many contracts happening there, at least that I've experienced, but that's more of a one-off kind of thing. And usually that dollar amount is one that is not as high, shall we say, as like a wedding or corporate event where I feel like a contract is necessary, because at a certain point, as a DJ, our time is very important.
Sure.
So a Saturday night, there's only 52 of those a year.
Right.
And typically, I'm working 80% of them.
Right.
So if I save a date for you and you decide, you know what, we didn't have a contract, I'm out. Well, guess what? I'm out on the money I thought I was going to get from you. I'm also out on money, whatever Saturday that could have been from another client, right? So the contract is one way that, it's a CYA, right?
Yeah.
Like it's to cover your own stuff and make sure that whatever money you think is coming to you actually gets there.
Mm.
I mean, I don't see a bad reason to have a contract.
Smart. And you advise it to the new people coming up in the business.
Yeah, and it's the thing, it's like, don't feel like, this is also a big thing. I get a lot of friends, even recently, that decided to like get into DJing because they were, just setting up and taking down, but not actually playing the music. And they're like, I have contracts I want to set up, and I have all this, but I'm worried that I'm not going to get enough per contract, or I'm going to have trouble writing the contract. And it's like, this 2024, guys, just Google a contract, make some tweaks so it works for you, copy paste. That's it. Like, it's not. And honestly, if you have a contract, you look that much more professional.
There you go.
So, and that's what a lot of clients, at least that I'm working for, weddings and corporate and otherwise, like, you want that sense of professionalism to set you apart from what we call like the bedroom DJs or like the backyard DJs, you know?
DJs. So let me, I'm going to just mention some of the gigs you've done. Microsoft, Facebook, Stanford College at University, Budweiser, Google,
Macy's.com.
I should just be telling you to.
No. I'm liking how you.
Fantastic. Did you ever think you'd be able to get those gigs?
Yes and no. In that I won't say that was my initial desire. But I don't think I ever thought it wasn't a possibility. Because I think honestly, you know, so as you know, I'm an avid card poker player, and while I do believe that skill has a lot to do with that particular game and a lot of life, it also, unfortunately, sometimes it has to do with luck.
Right.
You can have all this skill you want, but sometimes it's just like luck of the draw, ending up in the right place at the right time to be like, hey, do you want to do this random corporate event where you're DJing at AT&T Park just cause?
Right.
Yeah. What? Are you yeah. But it all comes with the work. It all comes with the time, right? Like, anything's possible.
So where have you performed across the country? Because I know you've been in Florida. Where else?
So I've got to do weddings in the Poconos, back east. I got one in Cabo.
Looked in that, ladies and gentlemen.
Did a couple in LA.
Yeah.
And that's been a lot of the travel so far. Oh, and I mean, then there was no, just visited Chicago. Didn't actually play in Chicago. That would have been fun though. Yeah, and willing to travel more, you know, like wherever it may be needed.
How much should an aspiring DJ spend on equipment? You named some pretty good ones. What is it so they can get an idea of price-wise that they'll have to go out and want to do it correctly, or like you said, bedroom DJ, can they get the same sound or?
Yeah, it's this is a tricky one because it really depends on exactly like what you're trying to do. If you're trying to do weddings, that's going to take a bit more equipment and a bit more of an investment in equipment, because a wedding versus like a corporate event or say like a high school dance or a prom, you really just need your 2 speakers, potentially a sub, and then like your equipment to play music.
Yeah.
Whereas for a wedding, you might need 2, 3, maybe even 4 different locations for audio support, right? Because your ceremony is going to need microphones and music. Cocktail hour is going to need music. Dinner is going to need a microphone and music. Dancing is going to need music and probably a microphone as well. So, and if those are spread across a giant venue, you might need a whole truck and 8 speakers. But if you're starting slow, I would say $2,500 is a good price point to save for. But imagine that you're not doing it all at once, right? Like, you want to prioritize the way that you're going to play your music first. So back to the program.
Yeah.
Tractor or Serato or virtual DJ or what have you. Those are, you know, a couple $100 at most just for the program. And then whatever equipment to play that onto speakers, and then your speakers. But do your research on the speakers. Like, go out and just like listen. And when you hear something you like, try and figure out what speaker is coming out of and kind of work backward from there.
Before we go, I want to talk about some of the things that you're doing in the DJ business in the area of Baby Rave. That got a beautiful write-up in the Los Angeles Times down in LA and went all over the world. How did you get involved in Baby Rave? Because now that's, I see it so popular now.
Yeah. Funny story. So I have a background in theater arts, and I worked with a woman by the name of Nina Meehan, and she ran a children's theater company, and she had been touring. This is like 2015, 2016, I want to say. She had been touring different theater companies back east, and had stumbled across this event there called a Baby Rave, which, for those of you who don't know, Baby Rave is a kid-centered dance party where parents and kids aged 4 and under can go and enjoy electronic dance music and like a rave scene, colored lights, that kind of thing, just to really give parents a break. I mean, you can't imagine, and those of you parents out there of infants, toddlers, and little kids will understand this. You know, there's not really time to go out and dance anymore in those years.
Yeah.
You're too tired.
Yeah.
And this idea of Baby Ray came about to, well, first, get a new bit of audience for that theater company that I mentioned, but also have something for these parents to do that isn't the same thing they've been doing. Is like trying to fill time to like go to the park or go to story time at the library, or excuse me, like go on a hike. Like those are all great, but hey, who doesn't like to dance?
Yeah.
And so that idea just continued to like snowball and became pretty successful up until 2020.
Yeah. COVID, yeah.
But now we have since revived it, and it's back in Oakland, where it was originally born, and yeah, and we're doing them like once a month now. I think our next one's March 2nd, and the following one is April 8th.
We're in March 2nd. Before give us address where.
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, so it's the East Bay Community Space. It's on the corner 55th and Telegraph. In Oakland, in the Temescal area. There's there on March 2nd. There's 2 shows. One's at 9:30 a.m. and the other show's at 11 a.m. But as of this recording, the 11 a.m. show is about 5 tickets away from selling out. So my guess is,
yes, it does. Sells out all the time.
Yeah. So my guess is you'll have to check on that. Check on the morning show, but you can find us on Instagram at That Baby Rave. That's ThatBabyRave. It's all one word, at That Baby Rave on Instagram, with all the information for tickets and our upcoming events.
And it sells out, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, you'd be surprised at the parents bringing the children there, dancing and singing, and wow. What can I say, E.T.? If someone wants to get in contact with you, how would they do it?
So you can find me on Instagram as well, at DJ ET Events. So DJ ET EVENTS, DJ ET Events at Instagram. My website is djetevents.com. Those are the 2 best ways to find out about me. And if for no other reason, maybe you're looking to get married, maybe you're looking to have a corporate event of some sort, maybe you're trying to launch a baby rave in your city, town, or community, you can also look up all of my wonderful 5-star reviews on Yelp. Just search DJ ET and you'll see what all the fuss is about.
Well, son, I can't thank you enough. I really appreciate you coming down. And ladies and gentlemen, he explained it, kind of broke it down on how to become a DJ and an easy way to do it. And look him up. Like I said, he's blowed up. Right now, I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in to another episode of People You Should Know. So kick back, relax. I'm coming back soon. See ya.